All right, good morning, everyone. We're doing a quick live stream here this morning. So I just got down to my desk actually, and just pulled up all the streaming equipment and everything. So not really planned, honestly. So I'm just gonna add everything here to the screen and get ready. Let's add the screen here. All right. So what I want to do now today is, obviously, as you can see here, I've activated all the scalping signals here. I've also added more signals. And I also want to show you here that when I log into the Oanda demo account, I have two different accounts. So I see one ending here with 002 and 003. By the way, guys, if you like these live streams, remember to hit that like button. So I have two accounts here. One that's ending with 002 and one that's ending with 003. And you'll see there's a slight, there's a difference in the actual amount of money in that. So the 002, that's my main signals account. That's the account where I do all the swing trading, and all of those trades are getting forwarded to my live trading accounts. And then I select the 003, and that will then be the live testing of the scalping signals account. Now, the scalping signals account is just this demo account. I'm not forwarding the signals to any live account. That will change, of course, when if the results are good with the forward testing, basically. So yeah, we'll see what we can create here today. So this is the first scalping screen. So I'm going to connect to Oanda. And there we go. We have this 003, that's the scalping account. And we're going to connect this second tab as well to make sure we can trade directly inside TradingView. So this is a Oanda MetaTrader 4 account that's connected to TradingView via the Oanda interface. And then I can connect that to a CopyTrader account where I can trade this demo account, but it's going to be copied to live accounts. Now, there might be a problem with that, like because I'm scalping on a 5-minute, which means it's very important to take into consideration the spread, and the spread might be very different because the funded account I have is with the fibers. So I have to make sure that the spreads on Oanda and the fibers aren't like completely wrong or is very, very different. And for those of you who are completely new to this, basically the spread is the difference between the sell and the buy price. So we can look at Euro USD here, for example. If I am going to market sell Euro USD, the position is going to open at the red line. And if I'm going to market buy, so if I'm going to market sell, the position is going to open at the blue line. And if I'm going to market buy, the position is going to open at the red line. Now, Euro USD has probably the lowest and tightest spreads of all the forex pairs. It's the most traded forex pairs. It has the highest liquidity. But if you look at in this case here, you look at Euro GBP. There's a difference. So you see this red line and the blue line, and the spreads they change with time, and they become very different during news events. So the spread is actually quite tight here, but in relationship to price action, there's a pretty big difference. So we can remove the indicator here to kind of show you what I mean. If I'm going to sell this market, if I market sell this, I'm not going to sell at current price. So that's the current price. That's the agreed upon price, right? That the midline between the bid and ask price. So I'm not going to get my positions filled here. But that would be like a pretty good short. So I want to sell right there, but I'm going to get filled down here. All right, I'm going to get filled around that area. So we go from a 2-hour trade to a 1-hour trade. because of the spreads. So when scalping, it's very important to take into consideration the spread. And I also most of the time recommend using limit orders and not market entering. You can market enter on pairs that have very tight spread, and it's not only about the spread; it's also about the spread in relationship to how price action actually looks, right? So here we have I have all the alerts set up. So I have all the scalping alerts. We can search for scalping. So when I type in scalping here on TradingView, you'll see that we have a few signals here which are says that they are stopped manually. So I'm going to go into edit here and go into settings, and not sure why this one was closed, because I did actually activate that one. But let's see if there was a signal. So we have Euro CHF. I'm not sure why it's getting stopped. It says it stopped manually, but I have not stopped this manually. So let's see. Let's keep a track of this to see if there's any issues with the alert system here. I'm not really sure why they would get stopped. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to basically monitor these two charts here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them to, I'm going to have one to the right of me. And I can have to take a step back here so I can actually see all the screens nicely here. And I'm going to have so that's screen number 2 to the right of me, and then screen number 1 is to the left of me. And if I pull up this, let's see if I can pull that up. So you can see it better here where I have this camera. So you'll see that I have on my left screen here, I have scalping screen number 1, and then to the right of me, I have scalping screen number 2, and then here I have the stream controls, okay? And then here in the middle screen, that's the screen that you're seeing when I have this layout. And usually what I do is, or I guess this is the plan, right? So I go into Orlando demo and I select the scalping, the swing trading account here. So on this screen that you're watching right now, this is the swing trading screen. And while I'm monitoring the market for possible swing trades, I'm going to let the alerts kind of do its thing on the left and the right screen to see if I can have any possible trades to take. So it's going to be 4 pairs to the left of me and 4 pairs to the right of me. So I have 8 pairs that I'm monitoring at the same time as I'm also focusing on the middle screen here for possible swing trades. And if I do see anything interesting here, I'm going to switch it over. So if I have something happening on Euro USD, I'm just going to move Euro USD to this screen right here. So you get to see the actual trade that I'm taking, and I'm going to explain why I'm taking it if there's any signal happening. So I'm just looking to see if there's possibly anything setting up in the near term future. We did have something here on Euro USD. I believe the reason why this was not marked as a setup, and also when you have this layout of having multiple charts on the same screen, you select one of them and then you press Alt plus Enter on TradingView, and that brings it up full screen. So when with a good process, it's might seem confusing. I mean, I have basically 9 charts to monitor here, but it's quite simple. But I'm seeing something very interesting here on Euro USD. Now, the indicator, which these scalping signals and all the scalping trades I'm going to take for this live trading, a live forward testing, basically demo forward testing session, is going to be based on the slingshot indicator. And what you see up here is the 4-hour 20 EMA. So you get this line right here, and that also you have a blue dotted horizontal line for the where the 4-hour 20 EMA is right now. If price is below this one, it's not going to give a long signal. So even though this looks pretty good, that would not have been a long signal, because if price is below, it's only going to give me short signals. Now, I've tested this, and it's been giving me pretty good results. That's why I'm sticking with this. Now, of course, this means also that there's going to be much fewer trades. So we might have to wait a while. I think on average between the trading session of 9 in the morning, which started 20 minutes ago, so from 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, we're going to have somewhere between 1 and 5 trades in a day. So, I might have to wait 2 hours before there's actually a trade. But that's the idea that I'm testing. And even though it doesn't really sound very fun to be scalping that way, that's the idea that I'm testing. I wanted to show you something here on Euro USD, because we're looking at the 5-minute chart here. But what's interesting is that market structure and price structures are fractal. So whether you're looking on at the weekly, so this is the weekly, right? Now, if you didn't know what time frame this was, obviously you would there would be no way for you to know which time frame you're actually watching, because price action looks the same on the weekly, looks same on the daily, and then we go back into the 5-minute, and it's pretty much the same. There's a few bigger wicks, and price action is a little bit. There's more volatility, right? But overall, price action has the same characteristics on all time frames, and especially when it comes to market structure. And usually, the way market structure works when you're trying to analyze market structure is you have two different types of market structure. You have trending market structure and a range. And then you have 2 types of trends, which is a downtrend and an uptrend. And that's all you really need to know. Now, most of you watching this probably know what an uptrend looks like, what a downtrend looks like, and what a range looks like. And we can look at Euro USD here. Now, you can also see that the American flag down here means that there has been a USD news event. Interestingly enough, which obviously enough, I guess, is this news event coincides, well, I guess price action, this very unpredictable price action coincides with that news event. Same here, USD news event, and same here, that's a USD news event. If you remove the price action caused by the news events, it's a very clear market structure. So let's just ignore the volatility caused by the news events, because we're not going to be trading during those news events. So anyway, so here is a very clear downtrend with lower lows and lower highs. We enter a range, and usually what you have is you have a downtrend, and then at the bottom of that downtrend you have a range, accumulation range, call it whatever you want. It's going to be a range at the bottom, then it breaks up to the upside, forms an uptrend, and then the top of that uptrend forms a range. Now, how big or how long that range is going to be, we simply don't know. This area right here in relationship to the rest of price action is a quite long range. But then you break out and you have an uptrend, and then you form a very low time frame range up here. We can actually zoom in here on the 1 minute, and we can look at the 1 minute structure. And you see up here that this is, yes, the 5-minute uptrend that we saw as just a top on the 5 minute is a very clear range on the 1 minute. Again, price action is just fractional. This is the idea that you want to have in the back of your head when you use that idea that that top-down analysis idea, where you go from the weekly, daily, 4-hour, 1 hour, and maybe even the 15 minutes. Because here's the range, and then the breakout range lows is going to initiate the downtrend, which is very clear in the 5 minute. So with that said, let's look at current price action. Current price action is showing us that we have a downtrend. That downtrend is entering a range, and when the highs of this range breaks, we have a possible uptrend forming. So if you want to trade pure price action without the indicator, without these signals, when you want to be scalping pure price action, you want to make sure that you have this, you understand this. So let's assume that we can also add the indicator here, because I know that there's a bounce here on the 4-hour 20. You see that blue line right here? Very nice. So let's assume that, yeah, this is the start of a new uptrend. That's the low. Price is not going to go lower. The chances of that happening is, if you look at the historic price action, is, I would say that there might be an edge in there. So where would the resistance come in for this move? For me, it's quite obvious. It's going to be right here, somewhere in this area, because that's the obvious place where I expect price to run into resistance. If we continue trading down here for a while, for maybe an hour, we're probably going to see the 4-hour. Well, actually not. The 4-hour 20 EMA probably going to stand here. But if the 4-hour 20 EMA was here, that would have been like perfect confluence for TP up there. Now, that's not the system I'm trading today. Then that's not the idea that I'm trading. But you can also add to the idea that I'm trading more levels on the fib. So what you see here is you see a bounce on the 0.618. You reclaim the 50% fib. So here, I would say that, you know what, this looks pretty good for a long. Now, obviously, this looks like it's going to get stopped out, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this particular individual trade would have been stopped out. The idea here is to show you how you could use fairly simple analysis, combining market structure and this price action to have pretty good, and of course the fibs here. But in this case, I would just maybe market enter here on the close of that candle, and then wait for price to move up to the 0.618 here, which is the extension reload zone, and that's right below this major resistance area here on the 5 minute, which looks like a pretty good trade. Now, we could expect price to maybe even start an uptrend here, but then again, you have a overall downtrend. So even though you have market structure and trends, it's still trends within trends, and the overall trend here is quite bearish. We can add a trend line right here, and I would expect price to not really go higher than that upper trend line. So what you're doing here is you're taking profits at, you're front running a major horizontal level and a trend line within a channel. So it's using very simple technical analysis here, combining trend lines, horizontal levels, market structure, and price action with the 4-hour 20 and the fib. This is very simple stuff. Now, obviously, that's not exactly how I want to trade this system, because that type of analysis, it requires much more time than I don't really have that time when I'm monitoring 8 different charts. So yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a quick scan here of these 4 pairs, and I'm going to move over this screen to see if we have anything lining up. So we have one long signal. It's actually happening right now. So that candle closed right now. So we have a GBP long signal, scalping signal right here. Is this a trade? Would I take this trade in the backtesting session? Yeah, I would take this trade in the backtesting session. So this is going to be our very first trade here. Look at the spreads. I'm going to put my entry here. What would be the risk to reward? We know that the risk to reward can be as low. Look at that price going much lower now. So that would be 1.4. Let's see if we can actually we could probably, yeah, I'm going to put limit orders right here. So that's going to be 0.25% risk. We're going to check the account. What account is it? That's the right account. So we're going to put in 0.25% risk, limit order right there. So that's the limit order. Now, if prices can go a little bit lower, we're going to get hit on that one. I was a little bit slow on this one. I believe I was a little bit slow on this one. But what's cool about this one is that We found this trade with a signal. God damn it! Should have been a little bit quicker. Should have had that entry just a little bit higher. Now this is the problem sometimes when you're using limit orders, but I want to try using limit orders here because of the fact that spreads just can be all over the place. I want to get the best fill possible. And if you want to get the best fill possible and the best entry, you have to use limit orders. And if I would have just been maybe 5 seconds quicker, I would have been filled on this one, and this would have been a nice 1.68 R trade. Now, you can, of course, cancel this order and place another order a little bit higher with a tighter stop loss. I'm going to do that because now it kind of looks like the trade is getting away from us. We can also look at one minute to kind of get an idea of if that's actually the case or not. Look at that. 1 minute looks like that's a solid bounce right on where I wanted to enter. So we're going to cancel this order, and we are going to place our entry on the 50, and we're going to use our stop loss down all the way down here. So it's going to be the same risk to reward. And I'm going to probably start screaming like a fucking madman if this entry doesn't get hit, which it looks like it's not going to get hit. It's going to give us another strong signal, but it's probably not going to give us an entry. Yeah, so we have to take into consideration the spread here as well when looking at so that's the spread, and which means price has to go all the way up here to fill our profits. So we might need to have the profit target probably down here for that to be a valid. Yeah, so you have to take the spread in consideration when placing your take profit as well. But obviously, as you can see right now, it's not looking likely that this trade will get activated. And on the next candle, when the next candle closes, we're going to get another signal. And I mean, it still makes sense, okay? It still makes sense. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new setup here. So I'm going to cancel that order, and we are going to try to take spreads into account here as well. So if that order, price has to go all the way down here. So we want to place our entry up here. We want to limit the stop loss sum. It's going to be 1.46. That kind of makes sense. We want to place orders a little bit higher. Maybe here. Yeah, let's go with that. $1.3. Yeah, let's try that. So we'll do a 25% risk here again. Yeah, so we're filled on that one. Now, the way I'm trading here is I feel like I'm making a few mistakes right off the bat here. And the mistakes I'm making is kind of like I'm trying to chase price action here. I'm trying to chase the setup, which is obviously not the right way to do it. Now I'm filled on this, and it's probably like it's all right. Let's see if we have a 3R spread here, which means we're gonna there is a chance that we're gonna get stopped out on this one, and because our stop loss here is, when taking the spreads into consideration, it's probably too tight. Now we can manage this trade quite easily because the levels here are quite clear. So we're gonna start adding some horizontal levels to manage the trade here. And we have a clear low time frame resistance area right here. So as soon as price gets above or just peaks above this resistance area, I'm going to move my stops up quite aggressively. But yeah, that's the trade. So we now have an active trade on GBP JPY. Now we go back to the other chart to see if we have anything lining up. We have nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. What about the this screen? Nothing here. GBP looks really good, but it's a bit below the 4-hour 20 EMA, so that's not going to be a long trade. So right now, I think GBP JPY is the trade that we have. Like this is the trade of the hour, I guess, because I'm not really seeing price action develop that much in the 5 minute to give us another trade this early. But this is the pair that we're going to be. Sweet Jesus, look at that. And I've been backtesting this scalping system for a long time. The backtesting results are actually insanely profitable, like it's stupid profitable. But we all know that backtesting results. I mean, it's like backtesting results and live testing results. It's like you see it's like you're dating this beautiful woman. Like you go out to dinner and it's like you're dating this beautiful woman, and she has like a bunch of makeup up, and it just looks beautiful. That's the backtesting result. And then you wake up the day after and you look at her and like, who the fuck is that? That's the live. That's the live testing results. It's very different, you know. So you might have like a 60 or 70% win rate in backtesting, but that might translate to like 50% win rate in live trading. Ooh, that's hot. I'm probably gonna turn off my mic if I'm gonna drink coffee on the live streams. All right, so now that we have GBP, I'd like to say running, but it's not really running. Now that we have GBP JPY kind of like doing something, we can maybe take a look at some swing trading opportunities. So we had the GBP, I mean, we had CAD JPY and Euro NCD hitting profit today, which is really nice because we had I had a 9 trade losing streak, and I want to take a look at the journal for that and talk a little bit about what happened during that losing streak and how it affected me mentally and how I managed to stay focused during that time. So let's see, where do we have the dashboard? Also, by the way, you're going to see a lot of weird like statistics here. I'm using TradeSella. It's a new journal for me that I'm trying out because I'm trying out different journals right now. I'm trying TradeSella. I've tried TraderSync. TraderSync seems good, but not super impressed with TraderSync. I'm also looking at Swift Journal, which looks amazing. If it's going to be honest, it looks amazing because of built-in trade copier. So what I'm doing right now, I'm testing TradeSella, and I'm going to test Swift Journal as well. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. The idea here is to try to get a deal with one of them so that I'm able to give you guys, my followers, some discounts on any of the journal. But I want to make sure that it's the best one, not just one that's able to give them the best discounts, but the one that's actually the best one. So here we have the main signals account. I'm going to switch to main signals account, and this journal, I've imported trades from so from June, so the beginning of June. Now the reason why the win rate is quite low, so around 46%, is because if you look at the trade log, we've had a 9 trade losing streak right here. That means I have not had a winning trade since, that's amazing, since 15th of June. It's just insane. So one whole month, like the whole month of July, all the way into half of August, almost end of August, I just had losing trades. And so I want to talk about that, and first try to figure out like why did I had so many losing streaks, or such a big losing streak. And I do believe that it's a combination of a lot of different things. So I think summer price action is this summer's price action has been horrible for my system. It has not been performing well at all. So the market has, had its problems, and I've been trading on vacation, and the kids have been home from school, and I'm working from home in my home office, and it's just been hard to focus on the market and focus on trading. But I think most of all, because I don't think I've done any like major mistakes here. I think the biggest thing here is to remember is the fact that we're all statistically going to have losing streaks, and it's all about how we deal with the losing streaks from a mental point of view. So I actually believe that I've handled this losing streak very well. Mentally, it's been really really tough. Um, there was times when because I saw people having quite good results during July, and I didn't have one single winner in whole of July. So I did have moments when you start having those, what if questions, like what if the system just stops performing from now on? Like what if I'm not going to be profitable just from now? And of course, those questions you have, those doubts, will affect your confidence in it will affect the confidence of the system. It will affect your confidence in yourself as a trader, because like I've my identity, like I mean, I'm a trader. I think about trading all day. I trade all day. Like this is my life. I really love what I'm doing. So if I'm not successful in trading, it kind of feels like I'm putting that pressure on me personally, and I feel like it's affecting my self-worth, which is just not the way you should be thinking about trading. But when it gets really tough mentally, that's kind of like that's where I go. And so to bring back the confidence in the system, what I've done is I've back tested a lot. So I went back a lot, and I back tested a lot to see like, well, historically during like these 10 years, the system has had its up and downs, and this is a up, and hopefully now with September coming, and people getting back in the markets, and normal routines are starting after summer. Hopefully that's gonna be the end of this. But now we had two winners, which means it's the end of the losing streak. Obviously that feels good, but it's I need to see that I get a winner and a loser, winner and loser. I can't really. I don't want to see me having like a 7 or 8 losing streak after these two winners, because that would be very problematic, and that would be a signal that something is wrong with the system, which I don't think it is. But the good things here is I've stick to the process of trading. All right. The scalp is, thanks for asking, the scalp is stopped out on GBP JPY. So the first trade of the live testing is stopped out. Anyway, so what I've done is I focus on the process. I've stayed disciplined, and I keep reminding myself all the time of like losing streaks are inevitable. You just focus on the next trade. Just focus on the next trade. The next individual trade has nothing to do with the previous ones. And I've had to tell that to myself like 9 times in a row. Like, all right, it's gonna be next trade is gonna be good. Next trade is gonna be like, have to ignore. So yeah, it's really really hard, but what you have to do when you get into a losing streak like this, you have to just remember to do the exact same thing, even though you're losing. Even though you're losing, just do the exact same thing, because if that exact same thing has historically shown to be the right thing, you just keep on doing that, and statistically you are going to have these losing streak. You just gotta accept it. What I've done is I've limit my losses. So my drawdown during this time has been, I believe, 3%, 3.5%. So 9 losers, but I've only lost 3.5%. I wish TradeSella had some more data on that, because I remember Edgewonk had some really good like weekly had some really good notes. What is this? Insights, reports. Maybe it's maybe it's this one. So I'd like to see like the max drawdown. I can't find that. Well, that should be very interesting. And interestingly enough, you can see here that Monday, again, even with even with this new journal, you see that Monday is, I had 3 trades in Monday, and it's the only day of the week where I'm not profitable. And Friday is where I'm trading the most on Thursday, but I'm making the most money on Friday. We can actually look at the days. So I think and it's also lacking a bit here, TradeSeller, because it can't really show me the win rate in the way. Can't show the win rate the way Edgewonk does. So maybe I can send an email to them or something. Right. So let's go back to the charts here. We're gonna take a quick look at the scalping setups. So we don't have anything setting up right now. And honestly, like, I've taken 1 trade now, and I'm quite happy with that. Like, I would be okay with just taking 1 trade a day on this system. Just one or 2 trades a day are just great. So if I'm able to just take 1 or 2 trades, that's okay. Yeah, so we don't have anything setting up here. Let's look at the other 4 pairs. Do we have anything setting up here? No, it doesn't look like it. So while we wait for something to come along here, and I'm also going to check the alerts here, because I had 2 alerts for GBP JPY. Why am I getting 2 alerts? So we're going to look at scalping GBP JPY. This is a really good question, and I'm going to cover that just in a little bit. All right, so what I have here is I actually have 4 different alerts for so I actually have two long signals here on GBP JPY. So I have to go to GBP JPY here, and I just have to correct that. So we select GBP JPY, going to alerts, GBP JPY scalping. No, GBP JPY. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we have GBP long and short, and then we have long and long. Okay, long and long. Long signal, long signal. Should be short. Okay, so we're gonna change that to short, and this one to short. So obviously I made a mistake here with the alerts. So it's very important that you set up the alerts correctly. All right. So at what point do you say you need to reduce risk to 0.25% risk when you're on the losing streak? Is this only when you're in drawdown? Yeah, I mean, so let's assume that I'm trading with 1% per trade, 9 trades in a row. That would be obviously 9% drawdown, which is just way too much. Even from a personal account, I would never want to be in a 9% drawdown. So on the funded accounts, on the fibers, the max loss is max loss on the account. That's absolute drawdown, not relative drawdown. So if you're up 10% like that, it doesn't matter as much. But then again, you're withdrawing funds, so you're probably going to be around break even. This is a good reason why you might maybe have a buffer in your account. But I don't need a buffer because I'm not going to lose 6%. So when you get close to, so when I had like 1% risk per trade. I started a break even on that account. I had 3 losses in a row. I'm now down 3%. So I'm 3% left till I lose the account. What I decided to do in that case was to limit my risk to 0.5%. And I had 2 more losses in a row. So now I'm at 5 losses in a row, and I have 2% left to get the account stopped out. But I remember that not all of my losses were 1R. I closed the trade sometimes around break even and a slight loss or something like that. So when I was at, I believe, 6 or 7 trades, losers in a row, around maybe around 5 or 6, I at that point I decided that I have to limit my risk to 0.25% risk, 0.25, because I now have, I think at that point I had 3.5%. So I had I believe 2.5% left till I missed the account or lost the account, which means I can, with 0.25% per trade, and I lose, let's say, 8 trades extra in a row, I would only lose two trades. So I was already in a losing streak of 5 trades, I believe. And to lose the account, I would have to lose 10 trades in a row. So the losing streak would then be 15 or 16. So that's basically what I do when I feel like I'm getting too close to my max loss limit. I cut risk to 0.25% risk, so that it would be almost impossible for me to lose the account. And so let's say I'm in a 5. Let's say I'm in a 3.5% drawdown, right? So I'm in a 3%, 3.4%, 3.5% drawdown, and I have one 0. Let's say it's a 0.3R winner. I'm risking 0.25%, right? So that's going to be a winner. And then wait a minute. So it's going to be, I'm in 3% drawdown. Let's just do 3.5. And then I'm going to do minus 0.3. And then let's say I have another winner, which is going to be maybe a 2R winner. So that's going to be a half an R. Now at this point, I'm at 2.7. So let's say I have a 1R loser, 0.25%, and then another 2R winner. So I'm now at 2.45, which means I can now lose more than 3.5% before I lose the account. So what I can do now is I can increase risk to 0.5%, because I can lose, let's say, 3.5 before I lose that account. So 0.5% would be, I believe, 6. It would be 7 trades in a row. So I have to lose like 7 more trades in a row to lose that account. And I feel comfortable in a drawdown, in a losing period. When I'm out of that period, that losing period, I'm not going to lose 6 trades in a row. So I can now increase risk to 0.5%. But if I lose 4 trades in a row, well, I gotta limit risk again to 0.25. So it's like you're playing a game of like when you're getting too close to the max loss, you just cut risk completely. And then when you're getting a little bit higher, you increase risk. And then when you get to break even, you can go back to the comfortable risk. And I believe my comfortable risk level has changed from 1% per trade to 0.5%. So I really don't think I'm going to take trades with 1% again, unless I leave a buffer in the account, maybe a 2% buffer. So if I'm up 2%, I'm not going to withdraw that money, and I'll have a 8% max loss. And with that 8 max loss, I can then increase risk to 1% because the chances of having eight losses in a row is very low. And if I have 5 losses in a row, I will just cut risk to 0.5%. So yeah, it's like you're playing. You're basically limiting risk when you get close to the max loss. Nothing is happening in terms of scalping. I feel like I need more pairs, because when I'm scalping, it's going to be taking trades all the time, which I know it's not a good thing, but that's what I want. That's the way I want to scalp. I just want to get in and out of positions all the time. So I feel like I need 8 more pairs. So I would have then at this screen on top, I would have 8 more trades. Why are your bars blue and gray? That's a good question. Well, I like it. I like it. I like it because it's easy on my eyes. If I have, let's say, for example, if I have this color scheme, it would be like, see if I can find that. Why there's nothing happening here? I mean, if I would have this, I mean, yeah, it might be easier for you guys to see everything, but I would probably go insane. I might go blind as well, and I'm gonna have crazy migraines if I'm gonna look at this all day. So I think the contrast between the bright red and the green is just, it doesn't work for my eyes. I don't like it. So I want something that's soft, which is gonna be this. I just like it way more. It makes more sense to me. Let's see, now I got a white. See if I can change the color scheme. It's gonna be dark. Yeah, it's better, much better. It feels better. Remember, I'm sitting here all day, every day, so I want to be. I get gonna be easy on my eyes. What I want to find. I wonder if you can. Nah, like it has nothing to do with psychology. Like I don't really care. Because for me, like I've had this color scheme since I believe 2017, so like 6 years. I'm more terrified of gray than I am of red. Like I know that when I enter a setup and it says gray, that was that's pretty worse than like, I know what that means, unfortunately. So what I want to do is I want to look up something which is called, it's a crypto chaos. It's an old site which seems to be live, where you can download trading view watch list from different exchanges. And I'm going to start trading more actively on Bybit, and they don't have Bybit. How come they don't have Bybit? That's weird. So I want to be able to import into TradingView all the perp contracts into TradingView. Let's see if I can find that somewhere. I have something here. Bybit perp list. So we have 78 on Bybit and 3 on Binance. Yeah, this might be it though. All Bybit coins. Here we have 53 on Bybit. We got 78 on Bybit. And here we have, what? Is this? Okay, so this is, how many? I mean, it seems like there's a lot of perpetual future contracts here. So GME, why would I have GME on here? Like there's not only per contracts here. So how many are there? 208. 81. And this is 60. Well, 208. Let's just add this one. It's going to be save as watch list. All right. So now let's go. Some symbols are duplicate. Okay. So let's go into TradingView. Should have a watch list here. Bybit. Where's Bybit? Bybit. Is it not on here? Maybe I have to reload this or something. Yeah, I can't find it. Well, didn't I just save it? All Bybit. Some symbols are duplicated. Well, that doesn't matter, does it? Well, maybe let's just try this one then. Okay. All right, Bybit. I think we can remove Binance and FTX. It's not going to be trading on FTX. That's for sure. There's a Bybit perp list. This seems to be an old list, but it probably has the ones with the most liquidity. Okay, so let's go through this list. There's a lot of coins. 81. What the fuck is this? Look at this 1 inch. Like, I don't know. Like, did it just die all of a sudden? I don't know. Like, I haven't been updated on the fundamentals of these altcoins in quite a while, but this looks terrible. Let's just go through this list. If we have anything interesting, anything at all. But this is on Binance though. Like, I don't want Binance. Why? Well, it doesn't matter. Oh, we do have a possible short here. This looks somewhat interesting. So we're going to be putting in some alerts here. Yeah, there might be some trades here. I don't know. Like it's let's take a look at Bitcoin quickly. See what's happening on Bitcoin. Yeah, it's not much. Still just hovering around that support. I don't want price to break down lower here. I wouldn't want Bitcoin to break below like this level. That would breaking below that level would probably signal a breakdown of this daily trend, which I would not be very interested in. Because to me, it kind of looks like we have a possible bull market, right? But breaking below here is very different. So would not be very interested in that bull market. Did I have alert on that one? Cava. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to put in alerts. And if you're trading altcoins and you're using TradingView, which you probably should be doing, and you have this big list of altcoins, whenever you see an interesting level, like a level where there might be a trade on that level, is put an alert right there. And then when you get the alert, you check the chart. And if you're not going to get any alerts, then you're not going to have a trade. And with that process, it's quite simple and quick as well, because you don't really have to do you don't really need to do any TA until you have the alerts going off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish this this list here with all the alerts, and then like if you have any short requests or anything like that, just let me know and I'll help you out. Rune had some crazy moves here. What's going on with Rune? Yeah, I'm not really sure what to think about this one. I'm just going to keep it where it is here. Why? So there's one BTC USDT perp and one BTC USD perp. I wonder which one has the best liquidity. It's probably USDT. Like looking at Bitcoin here, it's just there's no way I'm going to trade this. This is just pure. This is bullshit. That's some really bad price action. Hopefully, we'll get something interesting happening now during in September. All right, so I actually have a meeting coming up, so I'll have to end the live stream and take care of that meeting. But I'm going to continue going through these the altcoin market here and look at the forex market, and I'll update everyone in the Discord community in the market updates if I do find any interesting setups. Even if I'm not going to take the trade, I'm still going to alert you guys on the trade and kind of break down the TA if you're interested in taking the trade. All right, guys. Thanks for joining this live stream today, and I'm going to continue doing these live scalping sessions on almost a daily basis. Hopefully I'll have a good process where we're going to get more trades in shorter time. So it's obviously it's not fun watching in 1 hour scalping session video or live stream when there's like one trade. All right, take care, guys. See you guys in the next one.